Devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil
Hello there, Trabant.
Hello, Tito.
Who do we have here, and where is this taking place? I see a Chinese man in a military uniform, and we can see his surname here, Mr. Li.
Yeah,
So what
this
is going on
the
here?
title says China Defense Chief Li Shangfu's speech at Shangri-La Dialogue, which is Asia's key security summit in Singapore.
Okay, so this is something that was organized by we can see the IISS here, which stands for the International Institute for Strategic Studies. And
And it
I guess
happened,
maybe they held this every year, this kind of a Shangri-La dialogue every year. This year it was on from June 2nd to June 4th. Yeah.
yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's
And
correct.
I guess they hold it at the Shangri-La Hotel, or I don't know how they decided on the name.
Yeah, just two remarks. This summit is named after the hotel where this summit is held,
All right.
and that's the first thing, which is a little bit strange to me. Second thing is, what is
Funny.
Shangri-La?
So
Shangri-La,
good question. Yeah.
yeah,
While
Shangri-La is a
we're on the topic.
fictional place in Tibet's Kunlun Mountains, and it's a made up name by an English author, James Hilton, in his 1933 novel Lost Horizon. So this is
Yes.
not even a real name. And Hilton portrays Shangri-La as a mystical, harmonious valley, gently guided from a monastery enclosed in the western end of the Kunlun Mountains. It's like a synonymous with early paradise or mythical Himalayan utopia, like a happy land isolated from the world, and the people who live there almost immortal, living hundreds of years beyond the normal lifespan and aging very, very slowly.
Wow, how nice. Well, I guess this popularity has eventually spread to China because we see the Shangri-La hotels in China. And when China, started to promote its own domestic tourism a little more, because it's better to have tourists spend money inside the country rather than going abroad, right?
Yeah.
And also to kind of, send the people who have money, have them travel to poorer places and spend their money there, to kind of try to help smooth over the social differences, the socioeconomic differences that exist in today's China.
Hmm.
So they have, made a lot of resorts, which have the
Named
same name
Shangri-La.
as,
Hmm.
or Shangri-La in Chinese.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
it's
Many
it's a little
hotels
funny.
China bear the same name, Shangri-La.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
So this one
let's
is in Singapore. Yeah.
yeah. Well, let's have a look. Let me forward a little bit to Mr. Lee's speech.
Okay.
Let's see. All right, so somewhere around the 2 minute mark. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see what he's got to say.
合作的愿
Okay.
望。习近平主
President
席
Xi
提
Jinping
出
has
全球
proposed the
安
Global
全倡议
Security Initiative,
倡
or
导
GSI,
共
and he
同
calls for
综合
promoting
合
common,
作
comprehensive,
可持续
cooperative,
的
and
安全观，
sustainable security,
走开一条
and
对话
exploring
而不对
a
抗
new path to security
结伴
featuring dialogue
而不结
over
盟
confrontation,
共赢
partnership
而非
over
零和
alliance, and
的
win-win
新型
over the
安全
zero sum.
为应对国际安
The
全挑战
GSI
贡献了
contributes
中国的力
China's
量。
wisdom to addressing global security challenges.
It's like, Xi Jinping, he himself, having these wonderful thoughts, let's have dialogue rather than confrontation. While we saw, that it has been China that has sort of stopped the security dialogue, for example, with the United States. Or that has
Yeah.
been sort of limiting this dialogue. So this is
It's true.
it's a little bit ironic.
Yeah, this happened after Li Shangfu refused to meet U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin in Shangri-La dialogue.
I see.
What kind of dialogue he is proposing? And by the way,
It's not really dialogue, is it?
Why is talking Xi Jinping proposing? Why doesn't he say China? Why Xi Jinping is representing whole China apparently now?
And
And-
in his infinite wisdom, yes,
Yeah, China's wisdom. Who talks like that?
it's
What kind of-
it's funny.
It's
Yeah.
nonsense. And I like how he's emphasizing that partnership over alliance, because they hate alliance, because China has no alliance with any country in the world, because nobody wants to be in alliance with China. China is not an ally.
It's, I mean, they
China
are, they
doesn't know
do,
how to-
they are members of these kind of organizations, like the Shanghai Treaty Cooperation. But this is not. It's not the kind of an alliance. It's not on the same level as the European Union or even NATO that are united a lot more strongly than these countries that are its members. Well, let's have a look at what else does he mention here. Let me skip to the 4-minute mark.
Okay.
Somewhere around here. Let's continue.
Asia Pacific faces
大
unprecedented
家都
security
在思考
challenges.
谁
People
在
cannot
试
but
图
ask these
搅
questions.
乱亚太？
Who is
断源
disrupting
或源
peace in the region?
在
What
哪里？
are the root causes
我
of
们
chaos
要
and
警
instability?
惕什么？
And what should we
防范
stay vigilant
这
and
些
guard
问题
against?
关乎
These
地
questions
区的
must be
安全
answered
稳
in
定
the interests
和
of the
命
security,
运前途。
stability, and future
我
of
们必须
Asia
站在
Pacific.
历史
Therefore,
正确的一
we
边，
must make wise
站在
choices by
地区各
standing on
国
the right side
共
of
同利益
history
的一边，
and promoting
做出
the common
明智的
interests of
选择。
regional countries.
Lots of phrases that anybody could make, that you or I could make at a speech.
Yes.
Impromptu. But, he also gives some questions like, who is, threatening the security?
Yeah, he's talking America. He's taking blows at the USA openly, like everybody knows. What
Yeah,
he's
he
talking
doesn't say that, but, he's making you wonder, like, who could it be?
about. Disrupting the regional stability. What kind of stability has been there ever?
That's also a good point, yeah.
Everybody hates
not,
everybody in the region. I mean,
It's
This
not,
is-
not quite that stable.
the region is not stable.
Let's see a little bit more.
And I like how he says that we will stand on the right side of the history. They like this phrase. Right
Yes.
side of the history. This is such a bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, you can't predict that.
Yeah,
Let's see what else he mentions.
please.
Should
霸凌、霸
prevail
道。
over bullying and
事实证
hegemony.
明，
Facts
bullying
have
and
proven
hegemony.
和
that
强
Yeah.
权
where
政治
there is hegemonism
伸向哪里？
and power
哪
politics,
里就不
there
得安宁，
will be instability, chaos,
战乱丛生。
and even
中方
worse.
认为，彼此尊重
We in China
平
believe
等相待
that the key for
才能
countries to
和
live
睦
in
相处
harmony is mutual
坚决
respect
反
and
对
treating each
把
other
自己
as
的
equals.
意志
Yeah, it's nice, I was mentioning we in China. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
using that plural.
It is such a nonsense. Like we must treat each other as equals. Like lots of phrases, like empty phrases. It means nothing.
I mean, I thought this was, supposed to be about some specific things, but yeah, I mean, what is? Well, let's see if he gets to something specific. Let me go a little bit further, because
Yeah,
this
let's
is his
go.
entire speech, over
Yes.
30 minutes long. Yeah, but with a lot of phrases in
Empty
between.
phrases.
China
一贯
advocates
倡导
and
治理
stays committed to
实现
improving
国际
justice and equity
坚
in the
定
world,
维护
and
以联合
firmly
国为
upholds
核心的
the UN-centered
国际体系。
international system.
坚定
Nice.
维护
The international
国际法
order
为基础
underpinned
的
by
国际
international
秩序
law
坚定维护
and
以联
basic
合国
norms
宪章
governing
宗
international
旨和
relations
原则
based
为
on
基
the
础的
purposes
国
and
际关系
principles of the
准则。
UN Charter.
It seems like phrases to me again, because what are they going to say? No, we don't support the United Nations, or like what's the alternative?
Since they have the veto rights in the United Nations, they are proud members of it because they can veto everything they don't like.
Yes, because of the end of the Second World War, China, by then the Republic of China, the USSR, the United States, the UK and France would be permanent members of the Security Council on the United Nations. And since the admission of the People's Republic of China into the United Nations instead of the Republic of China, the PRC has inherited this veto.
Yeah.
So of course they support it.
Yeah.
All right, if it fits,
If it fits. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Let me go a little bit further to around the 12-minute mark. Let's go see what he mentions here.
The Communist Party of China,
经过数代人
uniting and
不
leading the
懈努
Chinese
力，
people in concerted
Thành công
efforts
走
of
出了
several generations,
中国式
has
现代化的道
successfully
路，
blazed a Chinese
这条道
path
路
to
一个
modernization.
鲜明的特色
Congratulations.
就是坚
One
持，
distinctive feature of the Chinese path is peaceful
这是历
development.
经千辛万苦
This
基于
is
实践
an invaluable
得出的
guide for
宝
our
贵
way
经
forward
验。
that we have
中国
developed
取得
through
今天的
years
发
of
展成就
hardships and
靠的
dedicated
是
efforts.
10几亿人民的
The
奋斗
achievements China has
勤劳
made come from the hard
创新
work, diligence,
而
and
不是通
creativity
过
of more than
侵
1
略
billion Chinese
扩
people,
张、掠夺
not from
获取
aggression,
的。
expansion,
我们
and
无
plunder.
论走到哪里，都在搞建设、
Wherever China goes,
谋合作，
we focus on building
促发展。
capacity,
这一
seeking
点
cooperation,
世界
and promoting
有
development.
目
So wonderful. Yes.
Peaceful
Does
development.
he come to brag or to talk about some points? I mean,
China brings development. Yeah, China lifts people out of poverty. China has 600 million people living in poverty right now.
yeah, a lot of
How-
people are still very
Tell me,
poor.
how can you help other countries if you cannot help yourself?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Help your people, please. More than half the population. These are official numbers, which means they are fake. So more than half of the Chinese population lives in poverty.
I don't know. I mean, more than half live in cities at this point. So yeah. It
Yeah,
depends
you
where
can
you
live
where
in
you,
city-
where you put the line, but yeah, I mean, this is also possible.
600 million people live in poverty. That's Chinese numbers. Yeah.
So let's see. Does he mention anything else? Let's go around let's the 13-minute
Yeah,
mark.
can't-
Each
can't wait to
other's
hear more.
biggest
彻底
trading
消失的
partners.
绝对
China
性
has
的
eradicated extreme
还积极
poverty
帮助
Ah, all right.
and
All right.
provided
Ah, here we
More
go.
poverty.
poverty alleviation
Alleviation.
assistance
也
Ah, here we
也
go.
to many developing countries.
向
Of course.
120多个
As
国
of
家
April
You
this
thought
year,
you thought he would leave out the alleviation word?
Oh, no.
Oh no! Come on, you need to say that.
Just remember, this
Very
speech been
important.
translated into English. This speech is targeted. He's targeting the foreign audience, not only in Asia, also in English-speaking countries. Yeah.
2,000 Chinese peacekeepers are on duty in 7 peacekeeping mission
一位
areas.
中国士
I
兵
once
在回忆
read a
维和任
line
务
written by a
这样
Chinese
写过
soldier
一
on
句话
his mission.
如果有
And here I
人问我
quote,
们
If
为什么
people
要
ask
到那么
why
危险的地
going
方
to such
去
dangerous
维和？
places to keep peace,
请告诉他，
please tell
因为
them
我们要维护人
someone
类文明
must
的
step forward
底线。
to safeguard the fundamentals
这是一
of
名
human
中国士兵
civilization
的
and
Here to help. This is actually
So
not.
he's-
This is actually nice, but it's funny, because there are other countries doing the same thing. Yeah, China hasn't been the most committed in this respect. Although
He's-
they've put some effort forward.
He's quoting one soldier. It's something like, wow, very wise. Now listen to what one soldier of ours said. Why are you doing this? And he said, somebody must do it. That's it. This is the
Sounds,
wisdom.
like like the kind of stories for little kids, like about the Chinese soldier, that would serve the people and take photographs, or obviously somebody would takes photographs of him.
This story is so weak that I believe that it really happened. The soldier really said that.
Yes.
It would be sad if they made up this sad story.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Uh,
Let's hear some more.
objective
发布
and impartial
关于
stance
政治
based
解
on the
决
merits
乌
of
克
the
兰危
issue.
机的中国立场
We
文
have
件，
published China's
派出
position on the political
中国
settlement
政
of
府
the Ukraine crisis
亚欧事
and
务
sent a
特别代
special
表
representative of the
赴有
Chinese
关国
government
家
on Eurasian
进行
affairs
沟
to
通
have
交流，
consultations with
不断
relevant
寻
parties.
求国际社会
And we will
最大
continue to seek the broadest common
在
ground
阿富汗
possible
问题上
among the international community
中国
for resolving the
主
crisis.
动开
On the
展
Yeah, I mean, China has published something, but what else hasn't been exactly the most instrumental player in trying to do something about the war in Ukraine.
China is supporting Russia. Russia is China's closest ally, and they have unlimited friendship, Xi and Putin. And China's been caught like selling Russia hunting rifles.
Sure, they were for hunting some bears in
hunting,
Siberia, right?
Yeah, but they're actually assault rifles. They are just masked
Obviously,
hunting rifles.
yeah.
And some body armor. So apparently Russian hunters, they need body armor when they go hunting. So
Those bears are dangerous.
yes, tigers probably.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, now, I mean, obviously China doesn't want to alienate anyone, but has not been doing that very successfully. Let's put it that way.
No. No, not at all.
中方愿意以各方一
First,
道，
China is ready
打
to
造
work with all
更高
other
水平
parties
的
to
安
build
全
stronger
互信
security and confidence building
心
systems.
相交，
As the Chinese saying goes, lasting
中方呼
friendship
吁各
is
国
built
加
upon
强战略沟
heart
通，
to heart
增进
exchanges.
相互
China
了
calls
解，
on all
不
countries
断
to strengthen
增进
strategic
私益。
communication and mutual.
So there was another nice Chengyu to add in here.
Oh,
This
yeah.
has to be
Another
some,
idiom.
yes, another little pearl of Chinese wisdom.
Yes. Right. How is it? Lasting friendships is built upon heart-to-heart exchanges.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, what is that? What does it mean exactly?
Well, I don't know. I think that you have to be nice to each other, and then you can become friends.
Yeah, it would be nice, if
I mean, if you ask kindergarten kids, they will tell you the same thing probably. I mean, well done. Li Shangfu, wow, probably ask his granddaughter, I hope. Was a quote from his granddaughter. As my granddaughter says, a lasting friendship is built upon heart-to-heart exchanges. Give her a lollipop and move on.
Let's see, what else do we have here? Let's go to here. Let's listen to this.
海上
Are committed
路上
to resolving
边界问
maritime
题，
and land border
努
issues
力
in a
Border
peaceful
issues.
manner through negotiations
Oh,
and
bullshit.
consultation, and to strengthen friendly ties with our neighbors.
Well, because I was just thinking about it when you know when he was mentioning the previous things, lasting friendship,
Oh.
that China hasn't been behaving all that nicely in the region. Yeah. Obviously,
China is the elephant in the room. China is claiming whole South China Sea for itself. China is chasing out of the exclusive economic zone the fishermen from the Philippines and from Vietnam and from any countries from their own exclusive economic zone.
yeah, it's not very nice or peaceful behavior.
Chinese boats are ramming peaceful fishermen fishing in their own waters.
Yeah.
What is he talking about?
I mean, let's see.
It's no shame.
We will continue to accelerate consultations on the code of conduct in the South China Sea or COC. We will manage risks and crises by advancing air and maritime security laws and strictly following and continuously improving the code of unplanned encounters at sea or cruise.
Well, I'm
No,
sure
they
China would like to solve it, but let's say solve it in their favor, or solve it in China's favor.
They are not solving anything. They are just adding fuel into the fire.
加油!
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the it's in a positive sense this time.
China is the aggressor. Without America, China would be already militarily controlling whole South China Sea. China
it's a
doesn't
good
respect
point.
any
Yeah, whether
international-
they might have moved a little bit more aggressively there had it not if it wouldn't be balanced by other countries.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends, throughout its 5,000-year history, the Chinese nation has always valued peace and harmony. Since the founding of the People's Republic of China more than 70 years ago, we never started a conflict, occupied an inch of foreign land, or waged a proxy war. China has one of the best peace records among major countries. China stays committed to the path of peaceful development, but we will never hesitate to defend our legitimate rights and interests, let alone sacrificing the nation's core interests. As the lyrics of a well-known Chinese song goes, when friends visit us, we welcome them with fine wine. When jackals or wolves come, we will face them with shotguns. This illustrates the Chinese people's character of being friendly and kind, but not intimidated by strong power. With that,
We have to sing the song sometime.
This is ridiculous. What is he talking about? Firstly, 5,000 years of peaceful history.
Since that's history, but he said, for the most part, it's been peaceful. I mean, not.
But how did
not
they
really.
expand? How did they become so big? By
Good
other
question.
countries coming to them and say, can we please become part of your big country? We feel so alone. No, it was by force. They were enslaving, killing people. They were war after war after war. And when we're talking about the Chinese wars, they were like huge amount of people died in these wars because there were lots of people living in the area. So
I mean, obviously
no
the other, the other entities around them, they were invading China as well, but that was because, China would have money, so they were looking for things
everywhere
things to
else,
steal. But yes, but then our defense chief mentions, that since founding the PRC, it has had a relatively peaceful record. Okay, but
Yeah.
which so I guess disregards the war in Korea, okay, which they may not have started,
And
but
in
could be
Vietnam.
considered a proxy war. And then the conflict in Vietnam, obviously when they
Vietnam,
invaded
so
Vietnam.
Indians say for that.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, it's not exactly. It wouldn't be exactly in Vietnam's interest to invade China, But okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, let's two wars. Okay, let's say mostly peaceful. But
Yeah,
okay,
mostly
well,
peaceful.
what
It's,
about the domestic
adjusted.
situation? Yeah, I mean,
What about a saying again that we greet a friend with fine wine, which means
Macho.
alcohol, not wine. It's a mistranslation.
well, it might have
Fine.
meant the alcohol with a lower alcohol percentage at the time when they came up with it. Yeah, so
Okay.
it means any alcohol.
And we face jackals and wolves with shotguns.
Seems a little more
What
modern.
is he
Yeah,
talking about? What kind of song is it?
I don't know.
I'd like to hear the lyrics of the whole song. Can you please?
We'll,
What is the song talking
we'll,
about?
we'll have to find it sometime.
Imagine that Lloyd Austin would be having speech and would be saying like, as our famous singer Elvis Presley says, "Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go." I mean, they would laugh probably. Like what?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Oh, peace for
If
country.
we, yeah, if we, I think he's going to mention Taiwan next. Let's
I
see.
want to underline China's position on the following issues.
这是中国核
On
心
the
利益
Taiwan
There we
的
question,
go.
台湾
it
问
is
题是
the
公共
core
利
of
益
China's core
这条
interests.
前提不容置疑
Taiwan is an internal
Taiwan
affair
是
of China,
中国的
which
台湾。
is a primary
怎样解决
and
台湾问题
indisputable
是中
fact.
国人自己的事。
Taiwan is China's
不容
Taiwan, and
任
how
何
to
外
resolve
部
the
势力
Taiwan question is
插
a
手
matter for the
干涉。
Chinese to
事实
decide.
上，
So he's saying other countries, stay out of it. This is our business. Yeah, it's like if we invade, that's just a civil war. This is our business.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think it's.
They would love
going,
to
I
invade
don't think
Taiwan.
it's going to work out like that.
They already have a list of Taiwanese that they want to eliminate the first day after the invasion.
Man, I'm
A little bit ahead of
time.
of
Yeah.
time.
It's, prepare, preparing early. Yeah.
Charity
中国
and great step,
分裂子
but
You
we
ready?
make no promise to renounce the use of force. If anyone dares to separate Taiwan from China,
不
the
管
Chinese
付
military
多
will
大
not
代价，
hesitate for a
不将
second.
坚决
We will
维护
fear no
国
opponents
家的
and
主权
resolutely safeguard
和
national
领土完整。
sovereignty and territorial integrity, regardless
关于
of
南海
any
问题。
cost.
I think they are separated already. How to separate them more? By moving them.
Yes.
They are
And
already
it's
separated.
funny,
What is he talking about?
like saying, well, obviously he's referring to Taiwan declaring independence, but I find the wording funny when he says someone separating Taiwan from China, like someone's trying to steal Taiwan away.
But China is declared independence in 1949 after Chiang Kai-shek left. What is he talking about? They should declare independence every year? I mean, they already declare independence once. I mean, how many times do you have to declare
You could
independence?
say that, yeah, the PRC in a certain, through certain optics, the PRC is a breakaway state from the Republic of China. They
Right.
broke away.
Yes.
You could say that. Well, let's see. Let's see if there's a little bit more about.
各国产
Every
品
year,
Ships
tens of
passing through
thousands
here.
of ships from
因此
different countries
运往
sail
全球
through
的
the South China Sea,
总价值达到
transporting a
3.5
total
万
of
亿。
3.5 trillion US dollars
打收
of
船
goods
通
to
行
all
受到
parts
阻
of
碍
the world. We have never
安
heard
全
any
受到
of
威
these
胁
ships having any trouble
反倒是
passing
一
through
些
or facing
域外
any
国家
security
以
threats.
航行自由
However,
自
we
律
do see some countries outside the
行
region
行霸权
exercise their hegemony
想
of
把
navigation
南
in the
海
name of
叫我
freedom of
们 从中
navigation.
牟利。
They
需要
want
我
to
们
muddy
高
the
度
waters
建
so
立
they can rake in profits.
域内国家
Regional
To
countries
muddy those waters.
These ships.
I wonder
going
which
through Taiwan-
countries he might be talking about.
Yeah. They are loaded. The ships are loaded with Chinese goods. Why would they attack their own ships? I mean, they're seeing their goods they are exporting or I don't know 30% importing. I mean, what is he talking about? He's taking credit for something that is normal. Every normal country would be saying it's okay to let the ship pass through the international waters, but Chinese Ministry of Defense is saying the world should give us credit. We are not sinking boats in international waters.
Yeah, it sounds a little funny. And he's saying on the other hand, some countries, maybe the United States. I'm just guessing here.
Yeah.
They are doing that. Yeah, but I mean, it's not the case. The U.S. is not threatening, civilian ships in the area. If there's confrontation between, I don't know, Chinese and U.S. vessels, these are, not.
America, since the
military
end of the World War II, became a guarantor of the maritime security in the world. And they are doing it for free. Because of America, the piracy disappeared. Because of America, the trade became much, much, much cheaper. America is the policeman in the international waters. America actually created this opportunity for free trade between countries, and America is doing it for free. Not
But China should get some credit for
yeah.
the little
Give us
part that
credit
they are doing too. Come on, don't
for not sabotaging this effort. Yeah.
no.
Give us credit.
Be a little generous.
Yeah.
Trabant, come on.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if we have a little more from this.
Yes.
This beautiful gem of a speech.
Yes, please.
27. I really wish sometimes some new Chengyu, some new phrase would come out of these kinds of speeches.
And
Yes.
win-win
去年
cooperation.
11月，
Last November,
习近平主席
President Xi
同
Jinping
拜登
and President Joe Biden
在巴厘岛
had
成功
a
会晤，
successful meeting in
达
Bali
成了
and
重要的共识
reached important
希望
consensus. We
美
hope
方与
the
中方
US side will
一道
work together
落实好
with us
两
to
国
follow
元
through
首
the
达成
consensus reached by the two
共
heads
同
of
推
state,
动中美关
navigate
系
the bilateral
走出
relations
困境，
back to the right
重回
track
正轨，
from the difficult
更好地
situation
造福
so as
两
to
国和世界。
deliver more benefits to both countries and the world.
All right. Well, I mean, I think that's enough. What was the important conclusion, the consensus that Xi Jinping and Joe Biden reached? That's a good question.
There was no conclusion. There was no conclusion.
I mean, what the
I-
conclusion
I-
was
no,
that
but-
let's deal with it later, or let's not attack each other. I don't know. I mean,
They talked for 3.5 hours, Xi Jinping and Biden, in Bali, and they talk about Taiwan. They talk about they need to restore the communication, the military to military talks, which didn't happen. They talk about
oh, maybe there is some more communication than before. I don't know, to be honest. Nobody does. I would assume.
They didn't talk about anything. They're talking about the U.S. sanctions on Chinese firms. They talk about North Korea. They said that China has the obligation to make sure North Korea doesn't resume nuclear testing, and China has the influence, so China should be doing its job.
Yeah.
That's it. And about Ukraine, probably,
I
So
would assume that as well. Yeah.
yeah. So that's it. And after this speech, after this nearly 40-minute speech, it was funny that even this guy, this host, I don't know if it's Australian or New
Sure.
Zealander.
Yeah.
So it's funny that the host must be of a white face to give more credibility to this summit. So that's another funny thing to me. So after this, there were time for questions when 6 or 7 journalists at the same time they were asked the questions, the Chinese foreign minister, and which took like 5-6 minutes. They were very brief. The questions were very straightforward. Like, what about the last the incident when the Chinese ship, Chinese Coast Guard ship,
out on some of the things.
and he didn't answer any. And then he had like 3 minutes to respond. and didn't answer any of these questions.
What's he going to say?
And this repeated like 3 or 4 times.
It's a little.
6
little
or 7
embarrassing.
journalists asked questions at the same time, and then he had like 3 minutes to respond.
Wow.
And of course, like first 10 seconds, thank you for the question. Thank you for the question. I also thank you for your question. And then he just repeated something that was in his speech. That's it. Wow, that was very funny format.
Yes.
Very funny.
Not very strong.
Nothing about the climate change, nothing about the COVID, you know, how China successfully won the battle. That's it. That's it. I mean, this is the Asian summit, you know, how it looks like. There is no outcome.
Yeah.
Just a talk. Yeah.
It's okay if the problems don't escalate, but they might escalate, you know, anytime, which is not pleasant for anybody.
Yes.
And obviously, countries like Australia, they probably want to be a part of these talks because they want to be involved in the region.
They have to attend the talks because they would look insignificant.
Yeah, that's
So they have to just
also true, right?
Yeah. So they send this general to deliver his speech and just, you know, job's done.
All right, congratulations.
Yeah. Li Shangfu. Wow.
Anything else is that's new when we're talking about China? We can see that.
Yeah. Something that I forgot to mention last time when we talked about Germany's new, like a 40 points plan that Germany actually is in the name of de-risking and situation with China, and decided that they won't bail out their companies in case that China creates some conflict with Taiwan or any kind of conflict. Because last time when Russia attacked Ukraine, Germany did bail out its companies from Russia. But this time Germany
So
said,
there is it seems like they're planning ahead, saying, you know, we're telling you ahead, we're not gonna do it. Oh,
yeah, we are not telling you cannot invest in China, but in case if something happens, you are on your own. We are not going to help you.
Yeah, I see. Well, you know, the relationships between Germany and China have gotten worse. I mean, you know, just 100 years ago, you look at how nice the cooperation was.
Nice.
Well, it was obviously it was a cooperation with the Republic of China, so I guess this still exists in a way. Germany was, you know, happy to export arms and military equipment to China, and you know have sent some advisors like General Falkenhausen to kind of help train some of the Chinese divisions. Obviously, you know, this would. Come to an end in 1941, right? When as Japan became a closer ally of Nazi Germany in Asia. But you know, until that time, from 1911 to 1941, the cooperation was well and alive. So yeah, quite different 100 years ago.
Yeah.
So let's see what we'll see in the next 100 years. What's gonna happen 100 years later? Yeah. Let's see whether there will still be these kind of security dialogues in Asia with you know with similar speeches, and let's see what the outcomes will be.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Hopefully, they will still talk.
Well, then let's see what happens next. So,
all right.
Pleasure talking to you again, and I'll see you later, Trabant.
Yeah, see you later.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.